This person doesn't dream of marrying you because of how it would look to others, and it isn't about chasing some fleeting thrill or filling an empty space in their own life. Deep down, what draws them toward marriage is a genuine sense of calling, a desire to protect and nurture the very heart that has already been through so much. Right now, even as you read this, they're thinking of you with a love that's quiet and steady rather than loud or flashy. It's the kind of love that doesn't need grand gestures to prove itself because it's built on patience, careful attention, and staying power. They don't just notice when you laugh. They notice the moments when you go quiet too. They see the resilience woven into how you carry yourself, the way you shoulder burdens that most people around you never even know exist. And something inside them stirs, a quiet, determined pull to somehow make your life a little lighter. This isn't about fantasy or some passing rush of emotion. Their love is mature, it's grounded, it's intentional. They're not picturing marriage because of the social recognition it might bring, or the status attached to a wedding day, or how it would appear to the outside world. What they're actually dreaming of is something far more meaningful, the chance to walk beside you and support you in the ways that genuinely matter. When they picture a future with you, what comes to mind isn't a fantasy. It's the everyday act of honoring you, cherishing you, and slowly helping to heal the wounds you carry that most people never get close enough to see. They imagine a partnership rooted in trust, patience, and the kind of deep understanding that only comes from truly knowing someone's soul rather than just their surface. They see past the smiles you offer the world. They see the parts of yourself you keep hidden, the private struggles you carry without ever complaining about them. They notice the sheer strength it takes for you to stay composed, even when your heart feels heavy underneath it all. They witness how much emotional weight you manage to carry quietly, without letting it show. And every time they realize just how much you've handled entirely on your own, something tugs at them. Every silent battle you've fought, every tear you've cried where no one could see, every quiet act of resilience, they notice it all. And it moves them deeply enough that it creates a real desire to stand beside you, not simply as a romantic partner, but as someone genuinely willing to help carry your burdens, bit by bit, one day at a time. This person isn't looking to marry you to gain anything for themselves. They don't see you as some kind of trophy or accomplishment to be won. They want to marry you because they feel called to care for you, to protect you, and to help lift some of the weight you've been carrying alone for far too long. Their love isn't reckless, and it isn't rushed either. It moves at a steady, patient pace. They understand that real healing takes time, that trust has to be nurtured slowly, and that emotional wounds can't be fixed in a single moment. They pick up on the subtle shifts in your energy, the small pause in your voice, the moments when your presence quietly pulls back even slightly. They sense these things intuitively, even when you're trying hard to hide them. They recognize your emotional endurance, the hard lessons you've learned from surviving heartbreak, disappointment, and long stretches of loneliness. They understand exactly how much courage it takes to keep loving, to keep hoping, and to keep fully living despite everything that's tried to break you down. And within that understanding they find a quiet devotion, a genuine willingness to walk patiently at your side as you continue moving through your own journey. What this person is looking for goes far beyond something surface level. They want depth, they want empathy, they want a love that honors every single part of who you are, not just the easy parts. They picture a partnership where joy and sorrow are carried together in equal measure, where vulnerability is met with real compassion, and where laughter and healing are allowed to exist side by side. Their love isn't dramatic or performative in any way. It's a steady, unwavering presence. They imagine a life where your smiles come more easily and more often, where the burdens you carry start to feel lighter, and where every wound you've endured alone finally gets met with tenderness, understanding, and genuine care. They don't want to marry you in order to change who you are. They want to marry you to build a space where your soul finally feels safe, seen, and truly loved. They notice the quiet courage it takes for you to keep going even when life hurts. They see the strength behind your ability to keep showing love even after being disappointed before. They recognize the bravery it takes to stay hopeful when so many others in your position would have simply given up by now. And they're drawn to that courage, not because it makes you seem impressive to the outside world, but because of what it reveals about the depth and resilience of your heart. They long to walk alongside you, to help share your burdens, and to slowly, patiently help you set down some of the weight you've been carrying. Their love isn't about being perfect. It's about presence, patience, and a quiet, enduring commitment to help you heal and eventually thrive. Rather than feeling intimidated by your strength, this person feels genuinely drawn to it, almost as though it calls something out in them. They have no interest in competing with your independence, and they certainly don't want to overshadow the courage and resilience you've built up over years of navigating life on your own. Your capability doesn't threaten their love for you. If anything, it inspires it. They want to stand quietly next to your strength, offering reassurance without ever chipping away at your autonomy. They want to be able to say, softly and sincerely, "You don't have to do this alone anymore," and truly mean it with everything in them. Their devotion is patient and steady, focused not on grand displays, but on consistently showing up when it actually matters, offering your heart and soul a genuine safe harbor. Their entire vision of marriage isn't built on romance, fleeting passion, or surface-level gestures, the moments of tension and doubt that any real relationship inevitably brings. They picture being there for you when your mind feels loud and your emotions feel heavy. They imagine noticing your exhaustion before you even have to put it into words, quietly taking things off your plate so that you're able to rest. To them, marriage is about relief and genuine partnership, never about control or ownership. This person sees the weight you carry every single day, the emotional, mental, and sometimes even financial responsibilities resting on your shoulders. They notice how often you listen far more than you speak, how much you give without expecting anything back, and how quietly you hold other people's burdens while still presenting a composed face to the world. Something inside them whispers that if they get to marry you, they want to become the one safe space where you can finally let your pain go. They want to be the person you can cry with and never have to explain yourself to. The one you can sit with in total silence without any awkwardness creeping in. The one who will never rush you or pressure you to heal faster than you're ready to. Their presence is meant to lighten what you carry, never add to it. They don't see you as broken or fragile or as someone who needs fixing. Instead, they see beauty in your endurance, depth in your heart, and real courage in your ability to stay open despite everything you've already been through. Their desire to marry you comes from admiration, never pity. They're genuinely amazed by the way you continue to believe in love, by how you've managed to hold on to gentleness in a world that hasn't always been kind to you, and by how you keep offering compassion even to people who never gave it back. In their eyes, marriage isn't about rescuing you at all. It's about honoring every single part of who you are. They want to help carry the weight alongside you, sharing responsibilities and easing your burdens in both practical and emotional ways. This is someone deliberate in how they love. They take commitment seriously, and they're careful with the promises they make. To them, marriage is sacred, permanent, and something entered into with real intention. They think about a future where the pressures you carry are finally shared, where they can stand between you and certain challenges so you don't always have to face everything head-on, not because you're incapable, but because you shouldn't have to carry it all by yourself. They want to help handle the hard things, protect your heart, and offer real stability without asking for anything in return. Their love is both protective and freeing at once, giving you a foundation where your strength is honored, your vulnerability is respected, and your spirit can finally rest, knowing they're steadily standing beside you. That's part of why they might not say much yet, and why their feelings can come across as quiet, measured, or carefully held back. This isn't uncertainty, and it isn't hesitation rooted in doubt. It's intention. This is someone weighing the real cost of commitment and still choosing you anyway in their heart, even before they've said it out loud. They're afraid of letting you down, afraid of not being enough, afraid of causing you pain, even unintentionally. That fear isn't weakness. It comes from deep respect. They understand just how much weight the word love actually carries. They want to approach you with integrity, not with promises they aren't sure they can keep. Their silence isn't absence. It's preparation, and it's care. They want to grow with you, not reshape you. They're not trying to change your personality or smooth over the edges that make you who you are. They don't want to dim your light or turn you into someone easier to love. They want to walk beside you as you both keep evolving. They picture learning together, healing together, and becoming better partners through shared effort and time. They understand that love was never about flawless behavior or perfect moments. It's about consistently showing up, even when that's uncomfortable. Their goal is to build a life where growth doesn't require either of you to abandon yourselves, where you both stay whole. When they picture a future with you, it feels peaceful rather than chaotic. There's no emotional turbulence, no constant uncertainty hanging over it. It feels calm and grounded instead. They imagine shared routines, quiet evenings, and small ordinary moments that feel safe and familiar. They picture laughing together after long, hard days and solving problems as a team instead of turning against each other. They imagine growing older together with the quiet confidence of knowing they chose the right person. Their vision of marriage isn't dramatic or intense, it's stable. And to them, stability is one of the deepest expressions of love there is. They sense that a lot of your pain comes from being misunderstood, from giving more than you ever received back, from staying when others chose to leave. They recognize the exhaustion that builds up from hoping someone would finally choose you fully and consistently. They want to love you differently, with presence instead of inconsistency, with actions that actually match their words, with a kind of reliability that never leaves you questioning where you stand. They don't want you wondering if you matter, or worrying that their commitment might fade over time. They want you to feel secure even on the days you doubt yourself the most. If this message is reaching you at a time when you're tired of being strong, tired of hoping, or tired of waiting, hear this clearly. Someone out there sees your heart and wants to build a life around protecting it. You are not asking for too much. You are not difficult to love. You are not invisible. The kind of love capable of taking your pain away doesn't show up loudly or dramatically. It arrives slowly, steadily, built on consistency and care. And when it finally does arrive, you won't have to convince it to stay. This is about a love that stays quiet, yet remains powerful underneath that quiet. A love that isn't interested in impressing anyone or controlling anything, but genuinely wants to see and care for another person as deeply as possible. It's the kind of love that notices the smallest things, the pause before you speak, the way you carry emotional weight without ever complaining about it, the moments you quietly put everyone else first. This person isn't arriving to fix you, and they're not showing up with a list of expectations. They're coming with patience, with steady hands, and a heart that's ready to hold yours. Their focus is on building a safe space where your vulnerability gets met with understanding, and where your burdens can slowly, gently be shared rather than carried alone. This isn't a dramatic or flashy kind of love. It's the kind that waits, that measures its commitment carefully, and that consistently chooses action over empty words. It's rooted in respect and genuine admiration rather than desire or neediness. They honor your independence, your strength, and everything you've survived. They see the scars and the quiet endurance that most people tend to overlook, and they're drawn not toward changing you, but toward growing right alongside you. They understand that love is really a consistent daily effort, not just an occasional grand gesture. They imagine a life together that looks ordinary in its everyday routines, yet feels extraordinary in the emotional safety it provides. Waking up beside you on the hard mornings, holding you when old memories resurface unexpectedly, sharing silent moments together without any discomfort in the space between you. These are the things that matter most to them. They want to be the calm voice cutting through the noise in your mind, the steady support when you feel weighed down, and the person who catches your exhaustion before you even have to say a word about it. Their love centers on relief, on lightening the load you carry, and on building a life where your heart finally feels protected and appreciated without ever having to ask for it. This person's whole approach to love is careful, deliberate, and deeply respectful. They don't rush things or throw around promises lightly because they genuinely understand the weight of real commitment. Their choice to love you is intentional, even when it comes bundled with fear. Fear of not being enough, fear of causing unintended pain, fear of failing in ways that would actually matter. That fear isn't a flaw. It's a sign of someone who takes love seriously, someone who understands the responsibility that comes with being trusted with another person's heart. They're willing to be patient, steady, and present, even when it would be far easier to walk away or chase something more immediately gratifying. At the core of this love is security and trust. They want you to feel safe, valued, and completely seen, even during the moments when you're doubting yourself or running on empty. They don't want you to feel like you have to perform, explain, or justify what you're feeling. Instead, they want to offer a love that stays consistent, that mirrors your strength with patience, and that honors the full journey you've been on. They picture a partnership where challenges get shared, where responsibilities are carried together, and where healing happens naturally over time, rather than being forced. This kind of love doesn't announce itself loudly, but its presence becomes undeniable, steady, and genuinely life-changing once it settles in. It doesn't just promise happiness. It promises understanding, care, and companionship that doesn't waver. This kind of love is rare precisely because it's rooted in empathy, patience, and real understanding. It never demands that you become someone else to fit some mold or meet some expectation. Instead, it respects every part of you, your history, your struggles, your victories, and the quiet resilience that got you through all of it. They notice the ways you protect yourself, the moments you hold back, the times you put others ahead of your own needs, and it moves them to act, not out of obligation, but out of genuine admiration. Their goal was never to take over your life. It's to walk alongside you, offering comfort, stability, and the steady presence of someone who truly cares about your heart and your well-being. They value consistency over drama and actions over hollow words. Every small gesture, every thoughtful moment, every quiet check-in becomes their way of communicating love without needing any fanfare around it. They understand that love actually lives in the ordinary, everyday moments. Making you coffee in the morning, noticing when you've had a hard day, holding space for your feelings without a single trace of judgment. They're willing to help carry the emotional load, to help shoulder the weight of the world, when life gets to be too heavy for you alone. This isn't performative love. It's tangible, it's real, and it's genuinely healing. They're drawn to your strength not to compete with it, but to complement it. Your independence doesn't intimidate them in the slightest. It inspires them. They want to honor your ability to endure, to adapt, and to keep moving forward even through the moments when life has been deeply unfair to you. They're aware of the sacrifices you've made, the pain you've carried, and the resilience you've had to summon again and again. And they're committed to being the person who eases that burden rather than adding another ounce of weight to it. Their love is an active, ongoing choice to stand with you, to protect you, and to create a space where you can finally release the tension you've been holding on to for so long. This kind of love understands that vulnerability was never a weakness. They want to be the one person you can be completely authentic with, who sees the whole of you without flinching or judging any part of it. You won't have to explain yourself, hide pieces of your story, or perform for their approval. They want to witness both your pain and your joy in equal measure, offering support without ever trying to control it, and giving you a foundation where you finally feel safe enough to let go. Their presence stays steady, unassuming, and unshakable. They arrive quietly and with intention, and their commitment only deepens over time. As trust and understanding grow between you, they picture a shared life where both of you keep evolving without ever losing yourselves in the process. They imagine learning from each other, growing in empathy together, and building a partnership sturdy enough to weather life's challenges with patience and mutual care. They're committed to consistency and real presence, not empty promises. They want to love you in a way that heals old wounds instead of creating new ones, offering stability, understanding, and genuine appreciation along the way. They understand that the deepest kind of love was never about perfection. It's about being there day after day, showing up with care, and choosing each other through both the hard trials and the good moments. Their love is quiet, steady, intentional, and unwavering, and it's the kind capable of transforming not just a relationship, but an entire life. They understand that love can't be rushed or forced onto some kind of schedule. Their feelings might stay quiet, even hidden at times, but that doesn't mean there's weakness or uncertainty behind them. They're deliberate, they're thoughtful, they're intentional. Every glance, every word, every gesture is measured and meant to slowly build trust and safety between you. They're deeply aware of how fragile the heart can be and how much weight your past experiences carry. Their patience isn't passive, it's active care. They wait because they understand that real love can't be rushed. It has to grow, deepen, and prove itself over time. Their goal was never instant gratification. It's lifelong devotion, a partnership rooted in respect and genuine understanding. They admire the strength you've shown in moments when giving up would have been so much easier, the courage you find to keep moving forward, and the resilience you display even when life has treated you harshly. Your independence isn't a challenge to them. It's a source of inspiration. They want to honor it, stand beside it, and support it fully. They're drawn to your quiet determination, your self-reliance, and the grace with which you carry emotional weight. Rather than competing with your independence, they want to complement it. Their love isn't controlling or possessive in any way. It's a conscious choice to provide relief, to lighten your load, and to share life together in a way that feels balanced, safe, and mutually uplifting. They want to be the one who stands in the gaps when life becomes overwhelming, who notices your strength starting to fade before you even say anything, who quietly carries a portion of the burden without waiting to be asked. They picture small, quiet moments of care, cooking a meal after you've had a long day, listening without judgment, holding your hand as a silent way of reassuring you that you're not alone. They want to be the calm presence anchoring your life, the steady point that keeps you grounded through storms, the person who finally makes it possible for you to fully exhale. Their love is built on consistent action, on showing up in the ways that genuinely matter when it counts the most. They recognize the beauty in your heart, the kindness, the empathy, and the patience you keep extending even to people who've failed you before. They see your sacrifices and the way you carry other people's burdens, often at real cost to yourself. And instead of viewing that as a weakness, they admire it deeply. They see someone truly worth investing in, someone whose soul is resilient yet tender at the same time. Their desire to marry you grows out of this admiration, never out of pity or a sense of obligation. They want to be the person who honors your endurance, who reflects back all the love and care you've poured into the world, and who finally offers you the safety and security you may have been missing for a long time. They imagine a life together that feels simple on the surface, yet profound underneath, ordinary in its rhythm, yet extraordinary in how deeply it nurtures the soul. They picture shared mornings, gentle evenings, laughter after long days, and quiet moments where words simply aren't necessary. To them, partnership is an act of daily care, a commitment that only grows stronger through both trials and triumphs. Their love stays consistent and deliberate, built on trust, patience, and unwavering attention. They want to build a life where you never have to question their intentions or the depth of their commitment, where you can simply rest in their presence knowing they are steadfast, reliable, and devoted. They understand that love isn't measured by grand gestures or public declarations, but by quiet presence, genuine attentiveness, and reliability that doesn't waver. They notice the subtle details of your heart, the way your gaze drifts when you're lost in thought, the way your voice softens when you're weary, the pauses that reveal more than words ever could. They listen not just to what you say out loud, but to everything you leave unspoken too. Every small nuance matters to them because your inner world feels sacred to them. Their commitment isn't superficial or fleeting in any way. It's rooted in a genuine desire to protect, nurture, and honor both the person you've been through hardship and the person you're still becoming. They're not here to reshape you or ask you to soften your edges for their own comfort. They see the fire in your spirit, the strength woven into your independence, and the courage held in your heart, and they respect every bit of it fully. Rather than feeling threatened by any of that, they feel called to walk right beside it. They want to stand with you, not in competition with you, gently offering the reassurance that you never have to carry everything alone again. They want to lighten your load, never overshadow what you've built or accomplished. Their love is a genuine partnership, a bond that strengthens both of you without ever diminishing the individuality that makes you who you are. They picture marriage as an entire shared life, not just a single event on a calendar. They imagine waking up beside you on quiet mornings, holding you when painful memories resurface, and simply existing together through the ordinary yet profound moments that make up a real life. They picture being the calm voice in your world when your thoughts feel too loud, the steady support when challenges arise, and the hands that can lift you up when everything feels like too much. They want to notice your fatigue before you even have to ask for help, to share responsibilities so that rest and ease become a natural part of everyday life rather than rare luxuries. To them, marriage was never about control. It's about relief, care, and mutual strength, a life built from ordinary miracles, shared coffee in quiet mornings, and a steady kind of love that finally lets your heart rest.